interesting perspective on this, I think, now, from Max Fisher from Sherwood, who always wears a mask when they're out and about, and that's because of a medical condition. Max, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Hello. I was on the radio again this morning. Very early this morning, I'm not awake yet. So, how did it happen? Well, 2 years ago, when I first received media attention for being allergic to cold, having cold urticaria, I went on the radio, BBC Radio Nottingham, just to talk about wearing a mask and being allergic to cold and stop saying mean things to me. If you want to find out more about the mean things, there's a card up there. Just a fair warning, it's not very nice. The journalist that had me there 2 years ago reached out to me and said, "Hey, would you like to come on and talk about masks, considering you have been wearing them for a long time and you have probably more experience than most people?" And I was like, heck yeah, but I'm not sure when I became Nottingham's expert on wearing a mask, but here we are. So, here's how it went.
Perfect, right. Let me make sure that's working. And if you just want to give me your full name and where you're from, so I can check it's recording properly, please.
Max Fisher from Nottingham.
Perfect, brilliant. That's working as it should. Are you still sort of Sherwood based?
Yeah.
Great, lovely. Okay, that is all doing what it should be doing.
It's strange now seeing everybody wearing masks because not what I'm used to.
Absolutely, and so from Friday, everybody's going to have to wear a mask in the shops. They're already being told they've got to wear them on the bus and on public transport. So yeah, what's it been like seeing, I guess we're not there yet, but there have been a lot more people wearing masks. What's that been like?
Yeah, it's been really sort of bittersweet, I think, because it's good to see like people trying to take an interest in trying to do the right thing for everyone else's health, and like obviously just sort of seeing other people wearing masks, because I've been wearing a mask for a while, is just nice. But then it's also unleashed this side of people that just don't want to wear masks and they're being really rude about it, which is my least favourite thing, because I have to wear my mask for a different reason, but they don't see that.
Absolutely. So when you hear those people saying, "Oh, I don't want to wear a mask, oh, it's uncomfortable, oh, it's too hot, oh, my glasses steam up," or whatever reason they've come up with, what's it like hearing that as someone, you know, who's been wearing one, you know, for a couple of years now?
Oh, it's so annoying. Like, I wanted to be all coy about it, but it's the most annoying thing, because they're listing all of these reasons why it's uncomfortable to wear one, and yes, of course, I get it, and especially when you're new to it, it's very strange. So when I started wearing masks, it wasn't a natural feeling to me, but I got used to it for my own benefit, and other people are just, it's like a minor inconvenience that if you stick with it, it will get better. And I wear glasses, I wear hearing aids, I've got earrings, I also have quite a lot of hair. I get it, but there are so many ways around the discomfort of wearing a mask, and they're not even trying, they're just giving up at the first hurdle.
Brilliant. I think we've covered all the main points there, so we can grab some clips from that, unless there's anything else you think we've missed, anything you think is important that you want to add. Perfect. Thank you so much for being flexible with me. I really appreciate it.
No
and I'll
worries.
speak to you tomorrow.
Okay,
Brilliant. Cheers for that. I'll speak to you soon.
bye.
Security people, it's not their fault. They have to be in the elevator. I want to protect them also.
Meanwhile, a long-term mask wearer from Sherwood in Nottingham says it's incredibly frustrating hearing people complain about face coverings. You'll have to wear them in shops from Friday. They're already needed on public transport and in hospitals. Max Fisher has been wearing a mask out and about for around 2 years now after being diagnosed with cold urticaria, essentially being allergic to the common cold.
It's like a minor inconvenience that if you stick with it, it will get better. And I wear glasses, I wear hearing aids, I've got earrings, I also have quite a lot of hair. I get it, but there are so many ways around the discomfort of wearing a mask.
The other topic of conversation, which I think has been on the minds of everybody since it was first announced, is the need, if you're not used to one, to get used to wearing a face covering, because from Friday you will have to wear a face covering in shops.
If you've managed to get along without having a face covering, without having a mask, you now need to have one because you're going to have to wear it in shops from Friday. And Interesting perspective on this, I think, now from Max Fisher from Sherwood, who always wears a mask when they're out and about, and that's because of a medical condition. Max, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Now, obviously, when you're wearing your mask, this is normal to you. So let's do your backstory. So how long have you been wearing a mask for, and why?
I've been wearing a mask now for nearly 2 years because basically I'm allergic to cold. So when I breathe in cold air, I wheeze and it hurts.
And you found that the mask sorted that out?
Yeah, it stops me breathing in cold air straight out of the sky, for want of a better phrase.
So it warms up a bit, does it, in the,
Yeah.
in the mask? So what kind of mask do you wear?
I wear a fabric face mask and it doesn't have a valve on it at all. It's just a couple of layers of cotton usually with like ear elastics.
So this is very similar to the kind of thing that everyone is going to have to wear in a shop from Friday in that case. So what do you make about the whole mask debate in this country? This is something you do, you know, day in, day out, and have done for years.
Yeah, I don't really get the aversion to wearing a mask because it's for everyone's own safety. It's for like the benefit of basically the whole country. And I understand that it can be like mildly uncomfortable, but it's not that bad.
So your experience when you first started to wear a mask, you'd have gone through the kind of things that we're going through now. So what would be your advice? What are your top tips?
My top tips would be to make sure it fits properly, because if you have a good fit, your glasses aren't going to fog up and it's just going to be more comfortable overall, whether you wear glasses, hearing aids or anything else. So you want like a tight seal over the nose, and you don't want it to be too tight over your ears because then it's just going to pull on them.
When you say tight seal on the nose, so how have you managed to achieve that with a fabric mask?
So the masks that I buy, they have a piece of metal in the nose piece, and that moulds around the face.
So that would work. Now, my hairdresser had a top tip on the whole fogging up of glasses thing. Do you wear glasses, Max?
I do, yes.
Yeah. So you've obviously sorted this too, but hers was surgical tape. So she'd got more of a sort of medical-looking mask. It wasn't a medical mask, but a looking one like that. And she'd put surgical tape over the top of her nose, and that did the same thing. So what you've just said backs that up. If you're able to stop the air from shooting up from gaps at either side of your nostrils, then your glasses won't fog up. And it really is as simple as that. And I think lots of people have been struggling with that. So that's a good tip. Thank you for that.
Did you ever find that uncomfortable, the thought of having to wear something covering your face?
Not really. I dealt mostly with people staring and people being not very nice to me about it. So that was more of the...
Saying what? What were they saying to you?
I had like loads of stuff just shouted at me in the street. I had one woman say, "Think of the children." I'm so confused by that. But just people thinking that I was out there to steal stuff, that I was out there with a deadly illness, that I definitely shouldn't be wearing a mask because security, and all that sort of stuff.
So do you have a wry smile now when you see how the rest of the world is catching up with you?
I am a little smug, yes.
And I suppose the one benefit from this is it's normalising something that was abnormal before.
It is, yes. But it has
So
now also
you-
brought out
you
a
may
wave
see a
of
benefit
people that
therefore.
think they know why I'm wearing a mask. So when I get off the bus and they're like, "You can take it off now," I'm like, I really cannot.
Do you ever explain why? Or, I mean, you shouldn't have to, should you? That's the bottom line. You shouldn't have to tell somebody why you need to wear a face covering. But do you ever do that?
I do, if I've got the time. Like, if they've stopped me to tell me that Corona doesn't work like that, and I'm like, ah ha ha, do I have the answer for you? But not every time, because it's been a lot of people.
Well, it seems we could talk about masks a lot.
Apparently
because
so.
The nation has been gripped by this whole discussion. Max, thank you. Max Fisher from Sherwood on BBC Radio Nottingham, who always wears a mask out and about. Max, thank you very much for your time. Much appreciated. Take care.
No worries, thank you.
And
So yeah, what happened was we had a phone conversation for some sound bites. They went from Trump to my trans ass pretty quickly. I'm quite impressed with that. You heard that little intro bit, and then they called me this morning and we just chatted. There's not really that much else to say. Oh, there is one thing actually that I wanted to say. They used my pronouns flawlessly. I put in a message to the journalist like, hey, can I just remind you that I use they them pronouns, and they said, yeah, absolutely, I will just put that in a note to the hosts. And I forgot about it until I listened to it back, and I was like, ah, may have teared up a little bit. Because that never happens. That literally never happens. They always try and find a way to use any other word but they. More on that up in that video up there. But yeah, it's just having my pronouns used without argument, or having to teach people, or having to convince them, or having to go in with like, hey, you don't have to introduce me as non-binary, just use my pronouns. It was great. That's how it should be. It's taken 2 years to get to this point, and the BBC generally are pretty good with it. They did say I was allergic to the common cold, which is not quite right, but I think we addressed it without addressing it in the questions and the answers. But yes, so there's more awareness about cold urticaria, there's more awareness about people wearing masks for other reasons besides COVID. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little mini vlog. Don't forget to like this video if you have enjoyed it. Drop a comment down below if you have any questions. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a new video. Videos go up every Saturday at 6 PM UK time with at least one bonus video every single month. See ya!